Hello everybody, this is Chizzo. This is my first toy review, and so I figured I would review two toys from the recently ended Power Rangers Samurai show. As you can see, we're going to be reviewing the Spin Sword and the Barracuda Blade. I think we'll review the Spin Sword first because we'll need to come back to that later. Set the camera down here. Now, I'm going to show you... Now, you probably didn't catch all the details, so I'm just going to run it by the camera real quick. You see the blade is a very rubbery plastic. When I got it in the mail, it was really cold, and so this was kind of warped. You can see it's held in with a little tab there. I'm going to get a little closer here. As you can see, the detail is lovely. Especially because it's such a simple toy, and I think that's why it works. We have this reflective part here, and I will show you what that does in a minute. We've got the back tab here for where the black box would go, except I don't own that. However, you may see this sword again if I happen to get my hands on one. We have this little area with the tabs that the disc would attach to, and the handle. Now, this version doesn't make any kind of noise, although they styled a button on there. I'm not really sure why they did that. Oh, and if we go down to the hilt, you can see the Shiba House symbol. Nice little detail there. They didn't have to include that, but they did. I kind of like that about Bandai America, even though they kind of fail in other departments. Now, back to this mirrored area. To do this, we're going to need a power disc. In Shikanger, they were called the secret discs, and they focused more on that gimmick. But this, as you can see, is the Lion disc. And it's really easy to put on. You just slide it up the handle, and it clicks on real easy. As you can see, it's reflected by these mirrors, and when you spin it, hold on, I gotta move the camera here. When you spin it, it has sort of a flipbook effect, as you can see. The tiger is running. Or the lion, or whatever. Yeah, he's the lion. It's the lion origami. And that's pretty much all this sword does on its own, right out of the box. So now we're going to review the Barracuda blade. I'll set the camera down real quick. The Barracuda blade was the weapon that was used by the Gold Ranger. It's based off of a Tanto. Now, only a little more effort went into this than the Spin Sword. And that's because, well, if you press this button in here, well, I should probably wait until that for later. As you can see, it's styled after a fish. You know, you got the fins and the spinning tab, like on the Spin Sword, and then the sheath has like a fishtail effect. Now, back to the effort that went into this that didn't go into the Spin Sword. If you press this little button here, the blade lights up. Let me show you real quick. There are like 2 LEDs, although I think there's supposed to be 3 lighting up, although the one in the middle here is kind of weak, and that'll vary toy to toy, so you know, don't decide you're not going to buy this just because mine has a little wonky light. Now slide that sheath back on there real quick. Now this sword comes with a disc of its own. In Shikanger, it was called the Sushi disc. I forget what it was called in Power Ranger Samurai. But it works just like the spin sword. You just slide that on and pop it on. It spins, but there's no flip book effect like on the spin sword. So a lot of this toy's play value is in imagining what you can do with it. And I find that to be very important, you know, add a little imagination effect, but, you know, it's simple, but it's not too simple. Now, if we take this off, I will show you what this looks like on the spin sword. Let me just grab it over here. We take that and we slide it on. Alright. You guys got a good view? Okay. As you can see, it's like a spinning gem effect. And so yes, even though this is for a different Ranger, they made it so that it would work on a spin sword. And you know, I kind of like that. That even I know the credit goes to the Japanese show, but I like that they put that thought into making this toy. Is that even though it's made for a toy that wasn't supposed to have this effect, they made it so it's compatible with other toys, thereby increasing the play value the more you buy. And I like that in a toy. So let me just set these back up here. So to recap, these are very nice toys. I got mine for $25 and $15. They come with the discs. The spin sword comes with more discs, but I don't have those on me at the moment, and I think the Tiger disc probably has the best effect out of all three of the ones that come with this. You may disagree, you may agree, you may disagree, and so it's all a matter of opinion. That's the whole spin sword, is to find a nice disc with a flip book effect that you like. And the barracuda blade. Now, if you can see real close, there's only well, there's actually a major size difference, but only because of the rubber tip. That rubber tip does not come attached to the sword. You have to put that in yourself. But as you can see, there is definitely a size difference, especially in the blades, because if you take it out of the sheath, as you can kind of see here, the sheath is what's making this Tanto seem a little taller than it actually is. So I bought my spin sword online on Amazon.com, and I bought my barracuda blade at Walmart. So prices may vary depending on how you buy these, but I believe that as long as it's not, you know, well, I bought my spin sword as a part of a costume set, so that explains why it's so much more expensive than it should be. But I believe if they're not demanding, you know, more than like $20 for either of these, then it is definitely worth getting. I'm El Chizzo, and thank you for watching.